Welcome to Herby at Heart, where herbalism grows in the roots of our hearts. An intrinsic journey where we dwell on the deep and expand the narrow. Starring your favorite herbalists, Tash at Avant-Garde Life. Find her on Instagram, follow her. And me, Phil, Power Plants Berlin. One plant, one show, featuring an interview with somebody we believe embodies a part of the plant's spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome, Tash.
Today we're going to be talking about a very underestimated plant. So underestimated that we have forgotten it numerous times.
And underestimated it.
And underestimated the power of the plant. It's a less known creeping plant with a yellow buttercup flowers and sawtoothed, milky white, hairy leaves. Can you guess it?
I can guess it.
Not a lot of people can, and not a lot of people know this plant, actually. When I was telling people about the plant, a lot of people didn't know of it.
Yeah, it's not
used.
It's not used anymore, even though it's from the rose family. So it can be eaten as most of the plants from the rose family. And it's actually, it was used as a plant to eat for salads and any kind of things for a long, long, long time. But somehow we lost the connection to it.
Yeah.
Maybe now we know why.
Yeah.
Because
it's quite powerful. It's a little powerful bean.
Yeah, and that's interesting because it's growing very small. It's like a crawler. It crawls on the bottom, on the earth. And should we share what it is? Yeah.
I don't know. Should we?
Yeah.
Do we want people to know
that this plant is existing? The pain, the cramping pain.
The panting cram of going through this.
Yeah, we're talking about silverweed, Potentilla Anserina, which, to be honest, is kind of one of my favorite plants. I thought for using it for myself.
I thought you loved it.
I thought I loved it. I still love it in a way because it surprises me. It was such an intense experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we
play a song?
Should we just play songs the whole time?
Yes.
And how we feel?
Let's stop talking. Okay. Okay. So we're going to play a song, but also we want to let you know that we will also be welcoming our interview guest today, which is Camille Jaeglé, who is a body work therapist, naturopath, homeopath, teacher, and all that kind of things that she's going to share with us later.
Very excited.
And we're going to talk about her, the plant connection, her beautiful work.
We're going to talk about her while she's there.
Yes.
Oh.
While we're playing the song.
With her.
That's okay. Yeah. It's my English. Excuse me, my Jinglish. Okay, let's play the first song.
Like, that girl. No, that's not nice. That's not what we do on this show.
No, that's not what we do.
We just do that in private.
Yes. So let's play the first song from a German artist, actually.
Oh.
She's called Gigolo Tears.
Gigolo Tears.
Love it. And the song is called Cramps. I got cramps.
Do you? You had an experience with that, though. Maybe you want to share that with the audience. Why we've even chosen this herb, Philip?
That's a good question. Why did I choose?
You chose it.
Yeah, I did. Was there a story about it?
Yeah, because you wanted to do it for such a long time because you had used it.
I have used it, and I find it very, very relaxing for myself. And that's what it is for me, probably. That's why I chose it. Tash and I, we used to have a garden in the Uckermark. Very, very beautiful garden. Greetings to Dirk out there.
Yep.
And
hey, Dirk.
His lovely Isabel. And
Isabel.
This plant was growing there extremely wild and big and loads of it. And I didn't really know it at the time, and I wasn't experienced with it. So we just started to make a maceration tincture, which is still this tincture that we were using. And I started getting into this plant a little bit and discovering how it's used, reading about it. And to be honest, there's not so much literature about it. It's quite hard to find anything, even in the Madaus, in the Pelikan, all the big libraries. Not as much as I thought. You find some literature about it from Paracelsus and so on, which is quite interesting. And When you find something, you always find cramps. Like how it's used as a spasmolytic, that it's helping with menstruation pain, but also muscle pain whenever somebody's like cramping. Mild cramps, hard cramps, soft cramps,
tetanus.
Tight cramps. Yes, tetanus.
I found a recipe with tetanus and milk.
Ooh, which
is also
tetanus, like the disease.
Yeah, like the
cramps, like
where I guess the tetany.
And they use it for okay. That's
I know
interesting.
that was one in one spot. That was the only cramp. I didn't find a whole lot of crampy stuff in the books I looked at.
Really?
Yeah.
I found a lot of crampy stuff. Like that's good.
You were more crampy. Mine is more woundy.
Yeah.
I found a lot of woundy stuff.
You found a lot of woundy stuff. Okay, that's interesting. I find a lot of crampy stuff, and that's how I use it when I'm cramping too much. In this sense of like clenching, this like my jaws are getting tight, or like my body is like overworked. I like to use Anserina. Then I used it. Especially I found it a beautiful mix was with Artemisia absinthium.
So what you mixed it with? Yeah, I couldn't remember what
That's what I mix it with, and I find they work extremely well together because it has a moon energy, it has a sun and a moon energy, which is quite interesting for the plant. There's some mythology about it regarding that as well. Just from the signature of it, if you look at the back of the leaves, you find beautiful silver, shiny leaves in the back, a little bit like the Artemisia also has.
Yeah, it's that white silky kind of.
Yeah, and combine that with like the hot and like fiery energy of vermouth, I find that they were working quite well together, like combining the opposites. And that's what it does. Like there's a lot of combining opposites for me in that plant. There's a lot of black and white.
Here and there.
Here and there.
Over there.
Yeah, but maybe not centered. And that's what you can use it for.
Yeah. Like more of an extremity to it, you mean?
Yeah, maybe. I find it not that extreme, but maybe because it's working so well with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you had a bit of a different experience there.
I mean, I'm not really sure, to be honest, I'm not really sure what my experience was because I just didn't want to take it. Like at first I thought, I'm not connecting with the plant. And then what I realized is I didn't want to take it. I was like a small child, like, I'm not doing that. I was quite adamant not to take it. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I was sitting there and every day I was like, no, I don't want to take it. It was like it was weird. I didn't want to work with it at all. And then you sort of at some point, I think I asked you if you had taken it and you kept on forgetting it.
Yeah, it was crawling away a little bit. Like the plant is crawling on the ground, it was crawling away. Even like the label went off. So I didn't really know where to find the bottle anymore. I put it in the wrong bag and took another bag. So it's
disappearing?
It was disappearing.
Do you know that's a symptom that I've had?
No.
I feel like I'm invisible. Like I've told numerous people that I feel like I'm invisible. I feel like everything about me, I'm invisible. My work's invisible. My life, I feel invisible in the world. Like I'm walking through the world as an invisible person. It's really weird.
Okay.
So that's interesting that sort of you also didn't see it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I didn't think. So I was thinking about that symptom, what that was with the invisibility. So there's something there.
I mean, since it's like this crawling plant, maybe it has the connection of like being on the ground because it's very small. It's not growing up. So it's a little bit like this maybe like inferiority complex, like that's a part of the plant that incorporates it, I think.
Possibly, yeah.
Like crawling, making itself small, like, and even the way it's spreading, it's really not growing up. It's like going to the sides and looking what's under here and under there. And it also has this connection to the invisible world that there's the saying, bless you,
excuse me,
on the back sides, like where sun and moon is meeting in the morning, the invisible folks, like the fairies and the dwarfs, they're celebrating parties on the leaves. It's like a Celtic folklore, like they're meeting there, and it's a way to get in contact with this kind of creatures on that plant.
I can see that with that plant. It's very fairy-like. There's something so delicate about it.
Yeah.
It is this paradox because I found it very powerful, but very delicate also at the same time. in the way that the moment, like I didn't want to use it. And then the moment I did use it, I loved the flavor. I was like, oh, this is actually really good for my body. It's almost like a thing that you don't really want to, I think I was mentioning that you don't want to, it moves this stagnation within your body and releases these cramps of this stuff you're holding on to. You know, it's like you're almost too scared to let it go. And so you want to stay with it because you know it, you know? And so the plant's actually trying to push you to let go of that and release.
And that's kind
of you wants to hold it.
Yeah, and that's like a cramping theme, right?
Yeah.
Like I cramp because like I'm holding on to ideas or like pains or stories like so much, and I don't want to let go and like let myself open for something new.
Yeah.
And so it's a beautiful plant to help us to let go of things. That was the fucking big theme of that month.
Yeah. Yeah, it was also my theme.
Yeah, like
it still is.
Really go deep into old fears, connecting myself with like themes from the past that I didn't want to even look at or talk about. And I was talking about it so much, opening myself so much, learning to, for me, it's expressing myself about these fears and like old patterns and all of that. And I think there's a big step in letting go at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a funny, as usual, we're experiencing very similar things on very different levels. And I associated the plant with that, with the cramping and the letting go and the holding on to these old pains that we think are us, you know, but they're just old things which actually I think we're so scared to let them go, because when we do let them go, then it's like, oh no, a part of me is gone. But it's not really what it is. It's not really what happens. It's just integrates with you, or it changes. And so I kind of liked that about the plant. That was something I saw really beautiful about it, to use it for people.
Yeah, and it's confronting us with a big fear, one of the biggest fear, to lose a part of ourselves.
Yeah. And it's also got a lot of association with wounds.
It does.
Which is what I used it for.
Okay.
So that is where I did experiment with it quite a bit. I was cutting, like, I'm lots of things. I'm lots of weird things, you know. I'm chaotic. I can do all these things, but I'm not clumsy. I don't hurt myself a lot. I don't cut myself a lot. It's not something, it's just not in my nature. I don't know why. I probably should be more clumsy, but I'm not. And I had constant cuts. I mean, I fucking sliced my finger.
Yeah, like bad.
Like bad. And then I had like this cut on my foot, and then I hit my toe, and then I cut my knee, like all on one side. Maybe it's a bit of a right-sided also herb, but yeah, everything was on that side. And so I started to use it on these wounds, and it worked really well. It's very astringent, so it's quite powerful.
It does have a lot, like from the pharmacological side, a lot of tannins inside, so you can use it as an astringent, and that's how it was used actually. Yeah, especially if you use the root, which is normally not used, but if you get the root, like it's full of astringents actually. Yeah,
people eat the root.
They do.
It's quite traditional to make flour from it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. Flour from the root.
Yeah, like making flour and then baking with it. They use it a lot in UK and Scotland. And Scotland, I'm not sure 100%, but Ireland, I think in UK, they were used to use it.
Okay.
Which I would like to try. There are some recipes. Actually, the recipe that I've got for us is a root recipe.
It's a root recipe.
Yeah, okay. It's a rooted recipe.
What I used also for the tincture was like the airy parts of the plant. Everything that's growing up, like the whole plant except the root, which is that you can find outside, and it has like this beautiful like finger-shaped leaf. That's why it's also called like goose finger herb, Gänsefingerkraut in German. And it looks a little bit either like the foot of a goose, has the family aspect as well of the goose, like and the finger shaped. And I used that. It's a very beautiful plant, I think, very small, beautiful plant for the tincture. And, yeah. I didn't use the root at all. I'm curious.
Yeah, I think it's more people use it to eat the information. I think some people were using it like a long time ago for some medicines, but the aerial parts, from what I understood, are more used.
I wonder why it lost its significance. Because it's growing everywhere in Europe, in Germany. You find it on the streets, you find it on the sideways. It's like really everywhere. And like not a lot of people know about it anymore.
Maybe we can go on the conspiracy theory of herbs again, as we love to do. Maybe it's a little bit, you know, when we did the rowan, also this idea of like that it's a poison. And in this case, maybe forgetting about it, because there is this powerful aspect of of elevating people's fears, of like getting in there and helping people work with unstagnating themselves. You know, the more you stagnate someone and the more you keep them in their fear state or this kind of cramped state, the more control you can have over them. That's a very big conspiracy.
It's a big conspiracy. I like that. I mean, I also like to think that plants that we don't know so much about anymore, maybe it's not the time for them to be used. They're not so much needed in the world at the moment. But at the same time, experiencing that, I think a lot of people would need that in order to let go, like move over to the next step. It kind of have something transitional in it.
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit like what I never did is like to smudge it. I wonder how that is going. I'm
wonder how it would dry.
Yeah. I think I will collect some, dry it and smudge it. I'm curious about that.
I'm curious about that. A lot of those moony herbs can be a bit difficult to dry. They've got so much water content. I don't know if it's got a whole lot of water content in it.
And actually, it has the invisibility context, right? You like the delusion of feeling invisible, and then it's like so small, hiding itself in a way, and with the invisible world gathering on it, something that is not wanted to be seen. So maybe it's just hiding itself. It's also a plant that knows how to hide. You know, I mean, regarding letting go, holding on to things. We keep on things that we don't want to look at, like a shadowy aspect, or like things that we want to hide in ourselves in order to ignore it and like maybe forget how to get in contact with that. So it definitely has that part.
It had quite
interesting.
It's always, as usual, the ones we think which are going to be a little bit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was, let's do a mild one.
Yeah.
That would be easy. Let's do something that's not so hard and intense this time. And then, like, the small ones really fuck you hard.
Yeah, they really do. They really fuck you in all your orifices.
Yeah. Now we need to do, like, explicit content on the episode. Oh, well.
I found it a little bit, actually, like shiitake. I feel like I'm in a similar state as I was with shiitake, but even deeper, even worse.
Yeah, shiitake, I didn't connect at all. I remember that. And this one, it's totally for me.
Yeah, you're really into it.
Yeah, even though I keep forgetting it, like my body's like, yeah, let's fucking do this. Like, let's go there. Let's get visible. Maybe it's that.
Yeah,
let's get visible. Yeah.
But I get that as soon as I take it.
What?
Like as soon as I actually get it and then go, yeah, okay, I've got to work myself up to taking it. But the moment I take it, it's like everything releases and I can almost feel my whole system just opening. Like when I hadn't even I did the monograph in about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I took a huge dose of it, which you told me to do. You're like, just take a huge dose, Tash. And so I did. And then I was just on the computer. I was just like researching, looking through all my books. I wrote like so much stuff about it.
Interesting.
It just like completely opened something up.
Yeah, so maybe it's not hiding so much from us, but we are very scared of it to get in.
I am scared of it.
Yeah, maybe that's more that our body is like, no, I'm not ready to deal with that shit. Like,
because I had to go deep. I have been going deep.
Yeah.
And I think you need room for it. And that's another aspect which I liked with it. It taught about, what were the words that I highlighted? Releasing, relieving, and resting. They were the three words that came to me about these plants. And that's what it's taught me, that it's okay to do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to take self-care days, even on work days. Yeah. As you know, as freelancers, it's always difficult to do that. You think you're never allowed to take any time off ever. And well, that's me as a freelancer. It's not true. Maybe not me. It's one of my illnesses. And I found that interesting, that it's taught me a lot about that. Mm-hmm. It's taught me a lot about going, okay, it's a Monday and I don't feel good. I don't feel like I can approach the world today. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take a self-care day, or I'm going to take a me day, and I'm going to be.
Yeah.
And it is about this releasing and relieving and resting.
Yeah. 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 And it's such an important thing. I know it from a colleague of us who just did it with her children. Like whenever they tend to start a sickness, a cough or whatever, like stay home the day before it even starts. and they don't go as deep. They don't get too sick. It's like, yeah, just we all stay home. You stay home from school. Like we don't need to go, and like we have a rest day, a rest out day, and then next day everything's fine again.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, my mum's here at the moment, and she's been really good for that. She's really good with that, to remind me to go do less for people, do more for you.
Nice.
And only do the things that are needed. Maybe you just need to rest in bed all day, or just to relax. It's okay. And I think that's a good reminder the plant has reminded me about that a little bit.
Yeah, especially in a process like that, like we're dealing with something, letting go, something as big as like old belief systems, old fears, like shadowy contexts. It's not something that can be dealt with lightly on the side. It needs all of the attention, and you cannot like go to work and do all of your stuff and progress in life and deal with that at the same time. It's just not possible, I think.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Which I think we forget. I forget all the time. We're trying to do too much.
Yeah, it's about being conscious, being aware, being in the body, that we're going to talk about a little bit later with Camille, like maybe like how to incorporate that in our daily lives.
One other theme which also fits also to this cramping and stuff is pushing. I think I spoke to you about that in other things, about pushing yourself, you know, when it's not needed, like how we push ourselves because we think that's what we have to do to get anywhere in life. I think that's such a modern illness of how we have to, like, you have to do that and we have to do that and you have to do that instead of just being. And you mightn't remember, but I remember one day when I was in one of my states this month that you said that to me. You said, but why are you pushing? What are you accomplishing doing that? Maybe it's time to stop pushing. And so then I wrote this little thing, which I'm going to read. It's just a tiny little paragraph, which came up with the plant. And it was, don't push what is not working. Follow the winding path laid before you and not the straight path you forcefully lay ahead. We are not meant to walk a straight path, but enjoy the twists and turns of what life brings. That what keeps it interesting and exciting. That what keeps the energy flowing.
It's so nice.
I thought that really fitted to the plant.
It does.
Also to the cramping part and also the wounded part, the wounds that we use it for, to like understand that a little bit about the body and life.
Yeah, and it's such a German illness, right? This has to do like this. We have to do it like this. There are rules. We have to follow the rules. Like that's cramping. That's like tense energy. Yeah, and to trust that things are not working as we want, but like as maybe some life is choosing it for us, and to ease and relax into that and trust the process.
Yeah.
The biggest theme in that time for me was...
You're going to hold my hand?
Yeah, we can hold your hand. The biggest theme in the time for me was... no, I don't want to let it go now. Was...
I can't. It's making me laugh too much.
Okay. For me, the biggest theme in the last 2 months is like this... this saying that, like manifestation that I'm telling myself, everything's working out better than I planned.
Oh, I like that.
Everything's working out. Sometimes I'm daring, and I'm like, it's working out way better than I planned. Way better than I even could imagine.
Oh,
dig that, huh?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and it confronts me with my limitation, because it tells me, look, your world of your view of the world is just limited. It's this piece of cake. It's a tunnel. You have no idea of what is possible. And if you allow the universe, God, or whatever your religion is, like to unfold itself for you, some things will happen that are even way bigger than you could imagine. So why get stuck and cramp and like tense in your idea how the future could be? Instead, believe and manifest it in the way of it turns out way better than I could even imagine, than I have planned, and something so much bigger can come out of it. And that helps me a lot. So when things don't work out, I'm like, yeah, because it's probably too small.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's given me a bit of an explosion in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's helped me reconsider a few things.
Yeah, that's $250.
Allah. Okay. I might use that mantra.
Yes, everybody use it. Use it. I've stolen it. I mean, I've taken it from Instagram guru, from our Shakti Shapeshift Shakti that we want to interview.
Yeah. She's great. We love you. Yeah. We think you're fab.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out to you. Contact us.
No, we're going to contact you.
We'll contact you.
I think it's easier. I think that's mostly the theme for me. Like I'm good with Anserina. It was intense, but actually I'm confronted so much with the deepest things inside of me that for me it's quite a happy yet extremely intense experience.
Yeah, mine was more intense and lots of crying, which probably was needed. But also also the physical aspects of it, of using it for the wounds or using it for just general cramping in the system. I think it can be a really beautiful plant to use that for, to keep that in mind.
I think so too.
I haven't used it very much, but and they also use it in TCM, but they use a different one of it. There's a few in the family, like there's a few different cousins which get used. Yeah. All different ways. For throat, also inflammation, just for like people who want to aren't so esoteric and don't use stuff so emotionally. It's really good for inflammation. It's a good one to have, like if you're hiking, you can actually then make teas out of it. And if you have inflammation in the throat or throat inflammation, mouth ulcers, you can use it for that. And also for cramping if you're out in the forest. I think it's a really good first aid herb to keep in mind or to put it on a wound. Yeah. To have it, because you find it often in the mountains and when you're hiking. So I think it's a good one to keep in mind for that.
Just chew it and then put it in the
there's
wound
actually chewing the root. That was the one that I found. Chewing the root for sore gums and mouth ulcers and even toothache, which can just come about when that's the worst if you're hiking. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you get a toothache and you're away for 3 days. Go get some of this.
Also diarrhea, mild diarrhea, you can use it, which is also like a cramping theme, right? Like of a part of the muscles that are like not reacting in the way that they should. Hemorrhoids also, which is also a thing of letting go, a theme. So that's fits
all
quite
this
well.
Kind of a lot of sore places. That's also what I read. Like you can put it on all the sore places, which also fits with the emotional aspect. All the sore places on the body. If you just feel pain, you can put it's almost like a very soothing in a way, even though it's quite astringent. Sunburns, wind rash, rucksack rash. There's all these.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you use a little hand to put on there. Which is
I like that. Yeah,
quite a nice translation, right? Like you're using somebody's hand to like soothe you a little bit.
As they say in German, to give it a little. And this was one other thing which I found quite interesting. Their sisters, these Potentilla sisters, there's like 3 of them that are kind of interused differently, and they're called for the tormenting conditions.
For the tormenting conditions.
So when you're tormented, so the soreness and wounds and cramping, but also the emotional aspect really fits to that. It's a very old thing I found that it was called.
It's a beautiful family. Like, for example, I experimented a little bit with the Potentilla pestis, the pest woods, which is one of the biggest plants for migraine also, which also fits in that like everything is getting like tunnel vision, like tense thingy, and that's a tormenting condition. Yeah, it's interesting. Finding on tormenting, that's quite an intense thing, but it's good to know.
Yeah, I actually just forgot about it until now. I've just seen it, but you can even think of this plant as when there's a tormenting condition, which also relates to a toothache or really sore gums, or if you've got abdominal cramps or menstrual cramps or really bad hemorrhoids, they're so tormenting. Yeah. It's like you can't do much when you're feeling with those things, when you have those things happening to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it is a very interesting plant to try out. As always, if you want to experiment with yourself, be careful, take care of yourself. Don't take too much like we do, because we want to do an actual proving. So we try to understand even what is the condition when you poison yourself with a high dose amount of the tincture, and that's not something we recommend. doing it if you're inexperienced. If you want to get in contact, you can get a tincture or talk to a pharmacist, or like a healing practitioner in Germany, or a doctor, how to dose it. I would suggest to dose it like very mildly in the beginning.
Yeah, or even just sit with the plant or draw it or just do other sensory aspects, smudge it. You don't always have to inject it. Inject it. Yeah. Don't inject it.
No.
Ingest it. I didn't take a whole lot of this plant, but I really got in contact quite quickly with it.
Very easily, I think so too. Yeah, it's very, very.
Kind of opens up to you very quick.
Exactly.
It's kind of like, hello.
Yeah.
Come here. It's like a little friend.
It's really like this.
You're like, no, and it's like, come here, and you're like, no. Yeah. It's just very love-hate.
If you ever read the Mists of Avalon, and
I've heard of this.
You heard of this?
It's like a series of books.
Yes, it's like the story of King Arthur and all that kind of thing.
I would like that.
And there's a part of like where they get actually into the fairy world, where you forget about time, and it's also like they're just in orgies, but like there's not a moment of what is reality anymore, and it kind of has this aspect in it. It's taking you in, and you're like, it's such an intense experience that you kind of don't want to get out, but you don't know how. Like it's really this fairy aspect. Telling everybody, don't fuck with fairies. It's not a...
No. We talked about this, I think, in not the last episode, the episode before, about playing with the fairies and the fairy folk. They're...
It's not just the mild experience.
No.
You
got to be careful.
Yeah. Okay.
So, do we have... I didn't manage a song.
You didn't manage a song?
No, but you had that good idea just before. What was that? Queen.
I think we played this before, but it doesn't matter.
Did we?
Yeah, but let's just play it again. It's a good song.
Yeah.
I Want to Break Free by Queen.
Yeah, I think that's a good one for this now.
There's a plant that crawls along the earth as if it were mending it. Potentilla Anserina, stitching soil and light together with every new root. There's a woman whose hands wander through the landscape of the body in the same way, following small paths of tension and warmth, finding the places where breath has forgotten to arrive. Golden suns rest in a cradle of moon-silver leaves. In that image lives a gesture that feels like Camille's work. Daylight wrapped in dusk, the nervous system held in a softness that does not ask it to change, only to show its true weather. The plant loosens cramps in bellies and hearts. Camille listens for the same invisible fists under the skin, a jaw that never unclenched, a diaphragm that never really fell, a pelvis that had learned to wait. Sometimes under her touch, the body does what the meadow does after a long night of frosts. It thaws in place you did not know were frozen. Potentilla Anserina, the silverweed, stays close to the ground, rooted and low, almost shy in its beauty. There's something of this in Camille's way of working, a quiet, unapologetic intimacy with flesh and feeling, an invitation to sink, in by inch, back into one's own weight. If you listen closely, plant and practitioner seem to speak the same language, a slow grammar of roots and pulses, of suns that dare to shine inside a cloak of silver, of bodies that remember that softness too is a form of strength.
Originally from Lyon, France. That wasn't a very good French accent. And based in Berlin since 2015, Camille has long been guided by a desire to foster growth, connection, and a more human world. Her path began in international law and human rights before leading her towards a more personal way of supporting people through presence, listening, and authentic human connection. Today is a Heilpraktikerin and Leibarbeit practitioner. She offers a warm and attentive space for individuals and groups to explore challenges, questions, and aspirations, integrating body, mind, heart, and soul. Her work supports people in reconnecting with their inner resources, resilience, and potential. She believes that every difficulty holds an opportunity for growth, and that healing often begins with feeling seen, supported, and accompanied on one's own unique path.
Well. That was a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much for your kind words.
That we welcome you, Camille, to our podcast. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
As always, we jump right into the questions. And the very first question we want to ask you is about your work, that you describe your work as a personal somatic therapy and also Leibarbeit rather than just body work. For someone who has never experienced that, how would you explain the difference between treating a body and meeting a Leib, a lived sensing body? Maybe what is that?
Well, I think there is no translation of the word Leib into English because I feel like we would translate it with body. But I guess Leib is a wide, broader word. It includes, of course, the body that we worked with, that we had such a little experience together before taking the podcast. So, of course, we're working a lot with the body. But we're also integrating everything else that is you. So it is maybe your voice, your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, everything that leads you being you in the right moment we're working together. So I feel like as a body worker, which I also do, I am always including everything else that I would feel in the space when I'm working with someone. But I'm not only working with a body, I'm working with a being. And I think maybe if we would try to find the right translation for Leib, I think being in English would be the right word for it. Combining everything, body, mind, soul, heart, feeling, thoughts, words, no words.
Okay, beautiful. Maybe to explain to the audience, we just received a session. Each of us received a session after recording the section of the plant, like the episode, and before recording this interview. So we are very relaxed.
Yeah, we're very chilled.
Very grounded.
And now we're only inviting body workers to our podcast from now on. We're redesigning.
So if I understand you right, you work with the being of a person through the body. So what is the difference than regular body work, whatever that would mean?
Well, I think Leibarbeit, which I love about Leibarbeit, is this free possibilities. So when I do work, maybe more with something like body work, for instance, or with homeopathy, which I also like to work with, I've learned to do something. I've learned a technique, and I'm kind of applying it individually according to the person that is in front of me right now in the Praxis, for instance, on the massage table or sitting on a chair, having this discussion with me. And I feel like when I'm working with Leibarbeit, I'm including everything that is here at this right moment. So yeah, it's about the feeling. It's about resonance. It's not about trying to apply something or trying to do something, but maybe the total contrary. Trying to not do anything, trying to not wish anything, trying to not want anything, and going to work with this attitude of there is nothing to do, there is nothing to understand. We're just here, we feel ourselves, we learn feeling ourselves, coming in contact together. And I think this notion of contact is a big notion in my work, coming into contact with myself, coming into contact with ourselves.
Maybe for the audience, because I think lots of people don't really know what Leibarbeit is on a practical, what the difference between body work and Leibarbeit. Yeah. So what could someone expect from a session? How is that different from a massage, for example?
So I feel like the setting is different, for instance, because first of all, the classical setting for massage, for instance, would be working on a massage table and using it also as a tool. Leibarbeit, we can work with Leibarbeit kind of almost everywhere. We worked a few minutes ago on the floor, but we could also work on a sofa or on a chair or in the car or in the bus or on the beach or whatever. We can work everywhere and we don't need any setting to really work. It's only about, okay, is this the right moment now? Maybe to go a bit more on the theoretic part of Leibarbeit. Leibarbeit has been granted and founded by two by two persons, Karl Friedrich Dürkheim and his wife. We always forget the wives, but the wives are also very important, Maria Hippius. And they were both, so he was a diplomat and she was a psychologist. And actually, they felt like treating people and treating patients on a verbal way, that they were always missing something. Because sometimes, of course, I mean, we are living in a society where we watch and see a lot, where we express ourselves a lot with words. And thus, I think as therapists, we also see that sometimes we're missing some parts of the person that is working with us, sitting in front of us. And that's how they like started working with being way more intuitive, having a touch, for instance, or proposing maybe a different setting and working with what is like coming into the space at this right moment. So I think the main difference between classical bodywork and Leibarbeit is, in the bodywork, I would be applying a technique to treat precise bodily problematics or body problematics. With Leibarbeit, we're working with what is.
Mm-hmm.
So you can come with everything and then we'll see what happens, which is a very free way, intuitive way of working. The only rule is we're not touching sexual organs and we always have the right to say no, which is, I think, a huge part of the work. Learning how to feel, okay, do I feel a yes? Do I feel a no? If I don't feel a yes, then maybe it's a no, and also learning to express it.
And how do you know what is? Is it something that you feel by just getting in contact with that person? Or how do you know what to do if you're not following a certain technique?
Mm-hmm. That's a very interesting question because, I mean, I'm also teaching Leibarbeit at the Heilpraktiker School, the Samuel Hahnemann Schule in Berlin. And this is a very interesting question that always comes up. How do I feel what to do? And the interesting part is I know how I feel what to do, but I cannot know how you feel what to do or how you would feel like to do. Like, we all come with experiences, with techniques that we might have learned somewhere else. A body worker will work differently than a TCM practitioner or a herbalist. And thus we can all work with Leibarbeit. And it's like, I do feel in myself, mostly in my body, but I also have some vision sometimes or a feeling you should go there. But I know one teacher of mine, for instance, he sees red dots on the bodies of its patients. And at some point he was asking himself, what are those dots? And so he talked with a TCM practitioner and she was like, interestingly, all those dots are points on the meridians. So I guess everyone has a different way of perceiving. And it's also about that, learning to be always finer with our own perceptions and trusting them. If I feel like going to your feet, I don't have to know why. I don't have to understand. I'm going to go to your feet. And maybe after that, you'll tell me like, this is crazy. I just enjoyed myself on this feet, on this foot. And that's the interesting part. I'm not applying something like, I know this is right for you, but more, okay, I have no clue. I'm just following my instinct, my intuition, and I'm teaching this organ of listening to my intuition, or you're teaching yours.
And as a teacher for that kind of practice, what is your experience? Is it something that everybody can do, or is it a gift that you have to follow those kind of instincts?
Well, I think we can all do that. We can all learn to do that, but I think the most important is, okay, is this something for me? For instance, there are some people that are most likely to preserve the distance with their patients or with other people. I'm a person, I like to touch everybody. I mean, I'm this kind of person. So I definitely have this opening or openness for it, for this like coming into contact. This was actually mainly the main reason for me to do the Heilpraktiker, also to be working with my hands in contact with people. But I also do know some people that tried it already and felt like this is a bit too much for me, or this is not a tool. Maybe a tool would be also a great word for it. This is not a tool that I feel myself applying with my patients because I'm more onto the verbal. Or you're a herbalist, you're working with plants. This is your tool.
Yeah, I know two people who had that experience with Leibarbeit. It'd been a little bit too much.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So, regarding this process of letting go, trust the process, like as a herbalist, for me, it's quite clear. A person comes to me to a consultation, and we talk about the problems. May they be physical, emotional, so and I have an idea on what to apply, and like talking about the plants, maybe an idea how the spirit of the plants works with the spirit of the person. How does that work with your kind of work? How does a session look like when a person comes to you? And maybe you can tell us maybe an example on a result, so that maybe that we get a bit more of an idea of what actually is happening.
That's a very interesting question, because no session is another session alike. All the sessions are always different. And I do have some people coming every week for this really like process following on a very intensive base. I have some people coming once a month or twice a month or once every whatever, how much time. And it's really interesting because no process is another process alike. So I have two examples coming to my mind. I have this one person that is a bit older, is on his 70s already, and we work together since, I would say, maybe 8 months on a regular basis, so every week. And he would always used to come to the sessions with things to explain, to talk about. And at some point he was like, you know what? I'm bored, always preparing myself for the session. And I was like, amazing. That's exactly what it's about. And the next time he came and he had not prepared anything to say. And we still had things to talk about, but mainly it's not about what we talk about, but what he felt in this right moment. What are the aspects of your personalities that you're discovering right now? And somebody told me, like, what am I doing there, actually? And we talked about the fact that, and this is what I like also about the work, when you feel someone is opening for a brighter dimension. It's not only about what I'm doing materially every day, but it's also about coming into contact with maybe some past experiences or some wishes or some, this moment where you feel like you're just a little dot in the middle of everything. I was showing you this painting of Matisse before because I was listening to you taking the podcast, and I feel for me it's like the probability tree in math. So you have a point, and out of these points there are some lines coming out with some points coming to other points and so on.
Exponential growth.
Yes. And it's not about, okay, what path am I going to choose? It's just about feeling that everything is possible. And for me, Leibarbeit is about feeling that everything is possible. And this painting of Matisse is really that, La Gerbe from the early 50s, so his late work. He had like a huge disease, he almost died. And then something happened. And he was like, actually, there is way more about life than just what I'm doing every day. And I think this is the very interesting moment with the patients when they realize it's not about what you're going to tell me, it's not about the solutions that you're going to offer me, but it's about coming into contact with myself and be able to find my own solutions.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like a very spiritual practice, actually.
It is. Yeah. It is. I mean, Leibarbeit is also part of this broader concept called initiatic therapy that they still are doing in Todmusrütte. It's in the Black Forest in Germany. So Karl Friedrich Dürkheim and his wife, they built a center in the Black Forest in southern Germany where they are still working with all those techniques of initiatic therapy. So Leibarbeit would be about touching. There is also this like writing or like writing without saying, or working with like tone. I don't know how to call
with clay.
With clay,
yeah.
Or also doing some music without trying to do something, but only doing what feels right. So initiatic therapy, it also sounds very spiritual in a way.
Actually, Osho talks a lot about that, about no mind.
Yeah.
No mind meditations where you do an activity with like nothing. You don't have to create anything. It's just about the activity alone and being in that moment of exploring what's going on. It's a little bit similar, reminds me.
Yeah, very much about that.
Yeah.
I feel like the only difference maybe into what you're saying is no mind. There is already something negative expressed into this concept. Whereas I feel it's not about understanding or wishing or wanting something, and thus sometimes it's about that and allowing anything coming. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So do you talk, I'm still not 100% clear how the session looks, just also for the public. So when the person actually comes in, like physically, do you then have a talking part? So the people will tell you what's going on, so you know they don't just come in.
So that's approximately that. People are coming for an hour or something like that, and we start sitting in front of each other or next to each other, according to the feeling, and then we start talking. So we always have this verbal moment to also, because I feel like we're able to feel, and sometimes expressing things is also allowing us to be a bit more precise about what we're feeling, what we're going through. So we always have this verbal part. And when there is nothing more to be expressed on the verbal way, then we start working on the floor. So my classic setting in the Praxis is we're working on the floor on kind of like a carpet. Then we first check that you feel good. You can lie on your belly, you can lie on your back, you can lie on your side. You can also decide to stay seated on a chair. And we just check that you feel good. Maybe you need anything under your head or under your knees. Maybe you need to be covered, maybe not. So we start feeling safe. This is also a big thing in this. We have to feel safe, because when we feel safe, we are able to say yes or no. And then we work. Maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, according to the time we have, according to the feeling also. And we always end the session asking, or I do always end the session asking, do you have anything to share? Is there anything that came up that you want to talk about? And sometimes there is something that came up and that we want to talk about, sometimes not. And and also always saying thank you so much for your trust. Like closing the circle with a thank you, because it's also an honor for me to be able to be working that closely with someone. That
Beautiful.
would be what a session looked like.
Nice. So I came up with a question thinking about your work, because it's something I experienced before, and I was wondering if our bodies would be able to directly talk during a Leibarbeit session. Maybe you have an idea of what brutally honest comment do you think it would whisper about the way most of us are treating our bodies?
Well, I think it's a very interesting question, because, I mean, the main work is about the touching. And obviously we can touch with our hands or with our body, but we can also touch with our senses. So sometimes I'm working with sense, or with whatever object or magic cards or stones or whatever is here that feels good to be worked with. And it's interesting because we can also touch with our voice. So sometimes there would be a song coming up that I would sing, or words coming up that I would also pronounce. And it never happened to me that one Leib or one person said always the same thing. So I think there is no practical one answer to this question.
But is there like maybe a common theme that you feel like treating? You work in Berlin, maybe with a lot of
listen.
Okay.
Listen and take time. Take the time to listen. To listen and to learn to feel. You know, we're living in a society, I feel to my mind, that we are a lot in our heads, but our head is practically maybe like 1/8 of our body. So go down and listen. Go down and listen and trust.
I think that reflects quite good on the next question. That, as in the beginning of the podcast, you heard us talking about the Anserina or the Silverweed having this sun-moon aspect. And in your work, that's quite a polarity. You've got this light and dark, tension, relaxation. In your work, how do you work with that? Because you're going to have these energies of ups and downs, tension, non-tension, and I guess it can be quite dynamic. all over the place. Sometimes, maybe not always. How do you navigate that through a session?
I think there are two pillars for answering this question. First of all, when I'm teaching this class with the Leibarbeit, we always start the class with an opening meditation, which is really about entering the space and first of all, feeling our bodies on the floor, supported by Mother Earth. And then also going up and feeling our bodies with the infinity that the sky is offering us. So this real connection between the earth and the sky, which is also, Carl Friedrich Dürkheim wrote some books about his work or about their way of thinking. He never really wrote about Leibarbeit itself, but he's been working and writing a lot about this connection, about this being human being between earth and sky. And this is always included in the work. So in the class, we would start with a meditation to really feel this like down, up, and surrounding. In the sessions with my patients, I would sometimes start with a meditation when we're starting the work, when I feel like, okay, I think that would be a good way of working with. Or sometimes I do not include it verbally, but it's always here. Because once we start feeling ourselves, then we feel our connections to the ground. I mean, right now we're sitting, so we feel our sitting bones on the chair. We feel our feet on the floor, and we still feel free on the side and toward the sky. So I think it's always a bit included.
We always look for like very quick answers. I mean, humans tend to do that, like a quick fix, clear answer.
Silver bullets.
I take this, and then everything is getting better. Yeah, and somatic work as well as herbalist work or homeopathy. Sometimes they work very slow. They work a little bit mysterious. Sometimes it's a bit messy, all over the place. And it's like, maybe do you have an example of your work, how a client's body reacted to something like that surprised you, maybe that you can share?
I mean, there are some reactions that are very quick. Someone starting to scream or to cry, which is a very active reaction of the body expressing or taking something out, which I would always encourage to let happen when it's here. Sometimes it comes out, sometimes it can't, which is also interesting to observe and to accompany the person feeling okay with it. So I would have experienced people like really screaming super loud and having this like huge opening, or crying a lot and crying and crying and crying, which is something that is very quick. Sometimes it's also very slow. The person is going to come months and months, and we're always moving a little something, or the person is always coming to this, touch of enlightenment somehow, but it's way softer. And I feel the Leib, or body in the brighter sense, is always doing the right thing for itself. Sometimes being quick, sometimes being slow.
Yeah, maybe you want to share a little insight or exercise for the stressed Berliners out there, that how to get in contact with themselves, how to get in contact with their body. Like, can you give us a quick fix?
Elvis!
You're obviously telling us no, but maybe you can give us a little idea of how we can do it ourselves. Is that even possible?
Yes to life.
Yeah.
I think, what I tell everybody to try out, which is really interesting because the main reaction is like, oh, come on, not that again, not again. It's just really to breathe. Take a moment, whatever happens. You feel stress, you feel calm, you feel nothing, you feel something. You're surrounded, you're alone, you're in a dark place, you're in a bright place. Just breathe through the nose. Let's do it together. Okay, through our nose. And through our mouth. When doing it 3 times, because all good things come in threes. And one last time. And I feel like allowing ourselves to only doing three times changes everything. Changes everything. And it's so easy.
I don't think you can be enough reminded about that.
Yeah.
I think we often say, oh, everyone says that, but I know every time someone says it to me, I go, that's a really good reminder. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
For reminding me and us and the audience.
I remember this kind of a mantra that is like part of this Leib sessions and the way you were taught. Maybe you want to share that with the audience about the I am here and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I would like to say it in German first.
Yep.
Even though not everybody is speaking or understanding German, I feel like those are only languages and words. In the end, we all feel what it's about, this vibration. Yeah. So, yeah, it goes like that. Ich bin da, ich nehme wahr und dafür gibt es nichts zu tun und nichts zu verstehen. So, a translation would be, I'm here, ich bin da, ich nehme wahr, I'm feeling, I'm perceiving, I'm open to perceptions, and for that there is nothing to do and nothing to understand. And that's really what it's about, which is a great attitude toward life in the end. And I think this is something that is, you were asking me earlier about the difference between bodywork and Leibarbeit. And I feel like what we're doing in the sessions is also something that you can easily learn and apply and, for yourself in your everyday life.
Yeah, as a German, when I hear this, like I'm cramping. It's like there's nothing to do. You guys think it's funny, but I think for a lot of people.
Take some tincture. Take some tincture. Take the whole bottle.
For a lot of people out there, like we always think there's something to do, and we also like in this society, like it's my fault. I need to work harder. I need to achieve something. I need to do something. I have back pain. I need to go to take a massage. I need to go to the gym. I need to do, and like there's nothing to do. There's just like being awareness, like breathing and like feeling what's there. I think it's quite a game changer, to be honest.
Yeah, it's very so much connected with the plant.
Yes.
Of this pushing yourself.
Stop the pushing.
Not allowing.
Just let go.
Let go and release.
Yeah.
This is something that we're navigating with most of my patients. This like allowing the balance. Sometimes I want to be achieving. I want to be like super good at sport. I want to do stuff, and that's right, and that's the right thing to do in the right moment.
Yeah.
And thus, I think also not forgetting about the balance, about the, okay, and today I just do nothing. You were talking earlier about this colleague of yours that would just stay home when the children were about to be sick. And just is like, okay, I allow myself, we are learning to allow ourselves to just do nothing when we feel we're about being sick. And then the body doesn't need more.
Yeah.
And this is the very interesting part. It's like, okay, I can be super good achieving everything I want. And thus, I'm also good at not doing anything, which we are always doing something. We are always breathing. Otherwise, we die, for instance.
Beautiful. Yeah, maybe as our last question.
What we always ask.
You go for it.
What would you like to tell our audience? One little snippet to, a bit of advice, so to say.
Yeah.
Whatever comes to you in this moment.
Well, you asked me for a song, and I'm a big fan of Patti Smith, actually. That's why I talked about this song, People Have the Power, and I think it's really about that. First of all, I think we're way more free than we think we are. And once we come in touch with this, like, actually, I'm way more than I was thinking I am, then we start having way more power. And having power is not only about I'm super rich and I have a firm and everything is working and la. It's also like just feeling everything is possible, because yes, everything is possible. This is what I really believe and I really experience, actually.
Beautiful. People have the power. Before we play that song, maybe a few words where we can find you.
Okay. You can find me on Instagram. I think you're going to link me in the podcast.
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
Cam GJL for my family name. It's a very old Insta account and I was a bit too lazy to start a new one. So I just used my old 14-year-old Insta account. You can also find me on my website, on internet. I think you're going to link me also. Herby, Gaejle, which is my family name, Jaeglé, the little hunter in German. And you can also find me teaching at the Samuel Annemann Schule, Leibarbeit and Homöopathie. You can also find me teaching at the Deutsche Heilpraktikerschule, more for the alternative medicine practitioner state exam in Germany. You can also find me at New Soul working with bodywork. And obviously you can also find me at the Praxis working with Leibarbeit, with homeopathy, with bodywork and with everything you need.
Yeah, so if you feel a calling to get in touch with your body and want to work with Camille, we're gonna provide you with all the information. You can book a termin session. That's the word. Thank you. And with that, we thank you so much for sharing your insights and your work. Very beautiful.
For joining us.
And that's Patti Smith. People have the power.
People have the power.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
Thanks, Camille, for being there. That was a really, really beautiful experience. And also to learn about Leibarbeit and something that people probably never.
A lot of
really
people don't know about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice to introduce people to
share
things,
the bird. Yes.
Share the love.
Share the love. And you know what time it is now? The one and only
recipe time. So we're doing a really quick one today. I didn't do a lot of research, but we're going to do a silverweed root sauté. So a little French. And this is actually from a book from Julia Brutton-Seal and Matthew Seal. They're great herbalists from the UK. A big hello out there. At the Wayside Medicine, Forgotten Plants and How to Use Them is their books. They've got heaps and heaps of great, beautiful books. I have them all. And they're really lovely people, amazing herbalists. And this is really easy to make. You collect the roots of the silverweed. You simmer them in a little water until they're tender, and then
saute them.
And then you saute them.
Okay.
With butter or oil, and then you eat them, and that's the recipe.
Okay, nice.
I would love to try.
Curious,
it.
I'm curious. I've never tried the root, so I'm very curious.
Apparently it's like it's a really lovely flavor. I can imagine it would work really well with the mashed potatoes that we had in the last episode.
A good one.
I can see those two together.
Yeah, having the happiness of I don't forget the English word for the Sauerampfer, but and facing the fears with the Anserina. It's a good combination.
Yeah, a little bit of, I can really picture them together.
So, any invitations, love?
I have my herbal course starting in September. There's still some spots. You can find it on my website and everywhere else.
Beautiful.
And, next week I have, I think the episode won't be out. I do have a chakra and the plant medicine workshop coming up as well. I think that's all I've got at the moment.
We have something together, right?
Oh, we do.
There's a blind proving on...
So we're doing our first event together.
Yes.
Which we sort of alluded to. And it's the first one we'll be doing. And I don't know what the date is now. I don't have it in my head.
It's not in my calendar. I don't know either. It's definitely end of July. So there's going to be...
terrible.
We have 2 dates. One is like the Aufstellung that we're going to do. So there's a possibility to get in contact with family constellation systems if you want to do your own family constellations, which is going to be in English. 24th of July. So join us there if you're curious.
June, I think that one is.
Of June. Then it will be directly after the episode.
And then in July is the testing.
And then the testing, We're definitely going to write the dates in the show notes, so check them out if you're curious, or I'm going to put them in the video so you can see it when you're listening to this episode.
That's a good idea. And there'll be the link of how you can come. Yes. So if you want to test or prove the next plant for us for the next episode, you can come and join us with that.
It's going to be like different ways to get in contact with the plant, meditations, also different kind of
preparations,
exactly. So it's going to be very exciting.
It's going to be very playful.
Yeah.
And you?
I don't have anything new going on. If you're curious about homeopathy, there's a Congress package for the last Living Homeopathic Congress, where I interviewed some beautiful, beautiful homeopaths, like really, really hardcore, full-on people that are doing this work for like 40 and more years. And like working with cancer patients and like really, really intense and beautiful work and stories. And there's a discount right now. So if you want to buy the package, do that. I'm going to provide you with that in the show notes. And as always, you come visit us at our Praxis.
Yeah,
at
the Mommsenstraße.
Follow us on Instagram. Give us 5 stars if you like the podcast. Share it with your friends and family and everybody who's like,
Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Comment, like, and share.
Comment,
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Ring my bell.
Okay. And with that, as always,
Herby at heart.
Herby by nature.